All right, we're on, yeah.
Yeah, the beep beep means we're on, right?
I love that intro. I don't know why you don't like it, but I enjoy it immensely. So
It makes me feel like I'm in space. It's called daydreaming.
there you go.
So I'm not daydreaming. I'm on Victory Wednesday today.
That's right. Victory Wednesday. Well, it's Victory Monday. We got a big game tomorrow. Week 2 kicks off tomorrow, and then we got Victory hopefully Friday coming up.
Definitely, guys. Welcome to episode 79 of the SoFlo Sports Show. It's your host, 305 Sports Babe, co-host Miami Lou, and Dolphins are 1-0.
They are 1-0. Those Miami Dolphins. Great way to start the year, and a lot of excitement. Obviously, we hadn't been to a game since last year.
No, this year, 2024, we were at a playoff game.
Well, I mean, at the Hard Rock. At the Hard Rock. So, yeah, it was nice to be back. And ironically enough, we played the Jaguars, and the last opponent we were there for was against those Bills, which we'll see tomorrow night.
We sure will. There was a lot going on before the game, during the game, after the game. Obviously, we know we're starting to learn more and more about Tyreek's detainment, so we'll talk about that. The Canes are 2-0, which is exciting. The U is back, baby. And we're just getting ready for some Thursday night football.
That's right. We're also going to talk some Richmond Webb.
Yes.
We'll do a look around the league, some interesting matchups that took place on Sunday and Monday as well. Those Jets didn't do too well, and we'll talk about that. And looking forward to previewing this pivotal matchup in week 2. Seems kind of funny saying that, but it is. It's a huge matchup tomorrow night against those arch rival hated Bills.
Yes, we do know that Bill Mafia has made it down to South Florida in one piece. They are currently taking over the Elbow Room and all of Fort Lauderdale Beach. So our Dolphin fans and friends who are in the Fort Lauderdale Beach, maybe peace be with you. Literally, may peace be with you.
You know, it's funny. I a lot of people are upset about that, and you don't like to see it. The Elbow Room is a South Florida iconic institution, right? And so you want it to be all Dolphin fans, if possible, all the time. But look, they're coming down. They're on vacation, right? We're not. We live here. We don't have to worry about the snow or lack of entertainment up in upstate New York. So
let them have fun.
Let them enjoy it. And and also, guess what? We're going on the road this year 3 times. We're going to Seattle, coming up here real soon. Then we're going to be in Indianapolis, and we'll be in Houston, and we're going to have fun. And there should never be any kind of, unless you're being a complete idiot and you're looking for problems. If you want to come to our city, you want to be respectful and support your team. I just
bring business economy down here.
Exactly. I just take exception to season ticket holders selling the tickets to the Bills Mafia, and it happens every year. It's something we get used to. But look, they take over every stadium, so
they do. They are a great traveling organization.
Got to give it to them.
They do. Bills Mafia Babes do excellent. They do a lot of community service. But no, it's obviously a big matchup already going into just week 2. Tomorrow night's game is on Amazon Prime. So for those who do not have Amazon Prime, it may be worth to just get it so you can watch the show tomorrow.
That's right. Matchup. And it will be locally.
Locally for us, yeah.
Right. But CBS, I believe, is going to pick up
Channel 4.
Yep.
Yeah, Channel 4
pick it up down here. But if you don't live in South Florida, then you got to get it on Prime.
No, definitely. But Jacksonville came down last weekend. There was quite a big number of Duval fans in the house. For those who don't know, Jacksonville, the crowd goes, Duval. So it almost sounds like a boo. But if you didn't know, they say Duval. No issues with them whatsoever. And it was great to have them. But even more today, before we really get into anything, obviously you guys know today is 9/11. It has been 23 years since the attacks, the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and the hijacking of the planes. It feels like it was just yesterday. And, a lot of great tributes have been posted online. I spent time today when I was at work to watch as they read off every name that's important for me to do every year, to hear the names, because truthfully and sincerely, they are never forgotten. So, no, today, is a day that we just never forget in our history and in our hearts.
Never forget. Speaking for myself, I know you were up in the New York area, in Jersey, and down here. Obviously, everyone saw it as it unfolded, and just one of the most somber moments in our nation's history. To me, it's the moment that stands out more than anything that I've witnessed. Everything that pales a comparison to what took place on that day. And so definitely thoughts and prayers with all those who were lost that day and their loved ones as well.
No, definitely. It's important that we keep their memory alive and to never forget.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, and I do hope that the Dolphins, especially since we are playing a New York team, they do recognize. And the Dolphins really, I must tell you, for all the little battles that we have with them, the lack of season ticket benefits and all this, they do a great job honoring when honor is called for. For example, if we have a fallen cop, they'll, honor them. And so I do expect there to be some type of acknowledgement for 9/11 tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I know that they'll do it. There'll probably be a flyover as well, and a good moment, a tribute before kickoff tomorrow. That'd be great.
Definitely. So, yeah, let's get into it. So Jacksonville comes to town. Trevor Lawrence, right? He obviously got hit. He got his contract before Tua, and he was like set, got his money, and he's not a bad quarterback. Obviously he's a stud. He's had some injuries that he's overcame, and he sure lit it up for us the first half. We were like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it wasn't anything
special.
He wasn't doing anything crazy, but he was, finding the middle of the field. I think the Dolphins were baiting him into letting him, get those throws off, but nothing deep. There was no burnt coverage. They ran the ball pretty well, but no, to your point, Trevor Lawrence is a really good quarterback. He's got a lot to prove, but he's still very young as well. Coming from obviously Clemson, where he won major games for that program, and so kid's a winner, and he's built for the role, right? He's tall, he's lanky, he can run, he's strong, so definitely he's going to have a bright future.
No, definitely. So, we started off. Jacksonville had an early touchdown, 7-0. We came back and we scored one in the second. They had a field goal, so we're looking at 17-7 going into the half. Could have been worse. But, we definitely came back and kind of like chilled at halftime. Some plays that I do want to bring up, Jalen Phillips being back. The energy, first of all, when they announced him, the energy, when he came out, it was just electrifying, right? I threw up the U, and he is completely ready. Now, do we know if he's 100%? No, but he sure looked dang great on Sunday. He was super, super pumped up for that as well.
Absolutely. He's one of 3 players who sacked Trevor Lawrence. So it was Jalen Phillips got one, Calais Campbell got the other side.
Yep.
Calais Campbell actually had 2 tackles for a loss. So he had a big debut for the Dolphins. And, of course, Emmanuel Ogbah, who
so glad to see him back. That was a little scary. Hey, what are you doing? Come back.
Right. And look, with Bradley Chubb not being ready, we didn't know if Phillips was going to be ready. Having Ogbah there, and he had a big game as well. He had a couple of passes deflected and, as mentioned, the sack. So, we were able to get some pressure on Trevor Lawrence, brought him down 3 times, and that was good to see.
Yeah, no, and even flipping on our side with Tua, he had 338 passing yards and 1 touchdown. So, he did look frustrated in the first half. 338. 338. He did look a little frustrated going into the first half, but second half, things like stars aligned and we brought it back in. So that was exciting to see. One player who I was disappointed in, and I'm allowed to say this because he is my favorite player. Actually, no, I'm going to tell you 2 players. My favorite player, obviously, Raheem Mostert.
Yep.
And he was just doing like 1 or 2 carries, right? 1 or 2 yards per carry.
Right.
And that was like not like him. And even you said something to me like, Raheem's not having a great game. And I said to you, like, no crap. And then I said, like, relax, like, hop off my horse. But we learned later that now we know that he's actually injured and he's not going to be playing on Sunday or tomorrow. I'm sorry, so you said Sunday. Raheem Mostert will not be playing tomorrow because of a chest injury.
Yeah, so we don't know if that had a factor
with it.
Correct.
But he just did not look like Raheem-like, right? Like it did not look.
I didn't say it was not so much that he, didn't look like him, but he didn't get enough touches, and so that's why it almost looked like him. But now he's injured, so we don't know when that took place, and that obviously affected the game plan. But Devon Achane was a lead back.
He had a touchdown, and he's questionable for tomorrow as well.
Yes, he's questionable, but he did practice today, so he's likely to go. A guy that didn't play that will be probably counted upon will be Jalen Wright. He didn't play at all in the opener, and so with Mostert out and Achane, questionable. I think he's going to play, but questionable. You might see Jalen Wright, and then the big guy that had some big runs in the fourth quarter, that helped put us in position to win that game, Jeff Wilson.
Oh my
Jeff Wilson
gosh!
Jr.
Like seriously.
Yeah, he had some big runs there on that final drive that extended that drive to put us in position to win that game. So, yeah, it was a little concerning to not be able to run the ball. It took those three guys, as mentioned, to run the ball, and nothing overly spectacular.
Yeah.
Now, Achane did have some big receiving yards.
Yeah.
He had 7 receptions. He had 76 yards receiving. So Achane did his job on the in the passing game, and so did Mostert. Mostert had 2 catches.
Braxton had a catch as well, which is interesting.
Well, Braxton, you talk about Braxton Berrios?
Yeah.
Did he have a catch?
He did have a catch. It was a big one. Yeah, Braxton had a catch. It was probably a 15, 20-yard catch, which was great because we haven't seen Braxton using the offense much. So it was awesome to see him as well. But Jonnu Smith, I wanted to see more from him, and I was ready to see more from him, but we just didn't see it.
The tight ends, Jonnu and also Durham Smythe. Durham Smythe had a couple drops. He had 3 targets to him. He dropped 2 of them. So that was concerning. Going into this season, this was supposed to be the breakout year for the tight ends. It's 1 game, so I'm not overly concerned about that. But, you'd like to see them get more touches and more opportunities to make some big plays.
Waddle also looked decent as well. Nothing
beyond decent. Waddle was great. Waddle and Tyreek obviously had 100-yard games. Tyreek with a big 80-yard touchdown. Again, we're going to talk about Tyreek and what happened to him pregame, but no, Tua, like you said, 338 yards. Waddle 8, Tyreek 8. They both had over 100 yards. Achane had 76 yards. So the offense did their part, and they did great. We just want to see a little bit more out of our tight ends, as mentioned.
And I think it's important to mention that Jason Sanders went 2 for 3, and I say 2 for 3 because let me tell you, he made the first field goal. And then the second one, which was like 30-something yards. And it was like slow motion. And he missed it. Right. And we were all like, oh, it was so deflating. Right. And it was like, come on. People are saying, oh, he had 1 job. But it's like, you cannot be missing those 30-something yard chip shots. And then he obviously made the one that we needed to end up winning the game.
Yep. 52-yarder to win the game.
Huge. Yeah.
He made the 37-yarder, missed the 42-yarder. And, again, those are kicks that we're expecting him to make. It could have drastically changed the game. I'll tell you what else drastically changed the game that maybe we're not talking about a win here, and that was Javon Holland. I mean, Javon Holland made a game-saving play, and he's got a knack for doing that. You go back to Black Friday last year against the Jets, where he has the famous or the infamous, if you're a Jet fan, the Hail Mary, where he picked that off in the end zone and ran it back. He had a monster play in this game where he punched up the ball.
And then Kader Kohu Superman that ball.
Yeah. But he punched the ball out of Travis Etienne at the 4-yard line. He was about to score a touchdown, which would have put them up 24-7. Yeah. And at that point in the third quarter, the game might have been out of reach. So Javon Holland pretty much saved the game. And so for that, I give him my game ball. Who would you say was the most impactful Dolphin that contributed to a win?
I want to say Jeff Wilson just because he did look explosive. He stepped up when we needed those step-up plays that Raheem wasn't doing.
Alec Ingold, by the way, also had 2 big carries. He did too,
and you love to see that. You love to see that because obviously we know his story on and off the field, so we're all like Team Ingold right now. Jalen Phillips, I think I'd also want to give him like a golden star on the chest because obviously adversity that he's gone through coming back and just an explosive first game. I mean, that was great because we didn't really know, obviously we knew he was coming back, but we don't know if these guys are 100%. And he just looked like 110%. And, he may not be even 80%, but he put on the mask and he came out there like a rock star. So I would say yes, but I also want to give stars to Wilson and also
Ingold was
Ingold and also Jalen Phillips.
Yep. All right. Well, my star is Javon Holland. You said your 3 stars there.
I have to give 3 stars.
No problem. We'll definitely talk about next who we didn't like, and I'll get into that. But I also do want to mention some special team plays. Jake Bailey did a great job punting. He had 4 punts, 185 yards.
No issues there.
He averaged 49.5 yards per punt average, so that was pretty good. And then there were no kick returns because of this new kickoff rule in the NFL. Is horrible. Yeah. So the Dolphins actually returned no kickoffs.
But flipping with that, I also want to say, Braxton obviously is usually back there, but there was a point where Coach actually switched out Braxton and put Tyreek, which was interesting, very interesting.
There was only 3. There was 3 punt returns, as you mentioned. Braxton returned 2. did nothing with it. I think he averaged, I think it was 3 yards total between the two. And then Tyreek got a shot at the end, and he got 10 yards, typical Tyreek. And, of course, Tyreek and Braxton were back there because Malik Washington is injured.
He was rookie,
He was returning punts all preseason, but he's injured, and he's not going to play tomorrow either. So Mostert and Washington are out tomorrow. So expect to see Braxton and hopefully some Tyreek out there too, returning punts tomorrow night.
No, definitely. So you guys know tomorrow night we have a big game against the Bills, but let's stick to the. Go ahead.
No. So let's talk about what we didn't like. You want to go first, or
what we didn't like in the game?
Yes.
Oh, I'm the first one to say it. I didn't like Sanders' miss. I think it's obviously 3 points here, 3 points there, but that 3 points here, 3 points there could be a make or break.
No doubt. Could have affected the game.
I did not like that. I also, I'm going to say this as politely as possible. Mostert, granted that we already mentioned this before, and if he is injured, so be it. But I put this guy on a pedestal. He's my favorite player, and I'm like, I expect 8 to 10 to 12 to 15 yards per his rush, and when you're averaging 1 or 2, that's not going to get the ball anywhere. So I give Mostert just a hey, but okay, you were injured, but Sanders gets my.
Yeah, and I would just piggyback on that and say it's the whole running game, right? Because nobody stood out. Achane, as mentioned, he did stuff catching the ball, but the running game didn't get going at all on Sunday. And so hopefully that's something that could be improved upon because we're going to need it. My takeaway, things that I did not like, and we talked about this when Big O was on the show, and it's uncomfortable, but I got to say it. Mike McDaniel and the way he ran the game plan. So we talked about this in the past, again, with Big O, Mike McDaniel. This is his 3rd year now, but he's had issues managing the clock, and he did it again in this game.
Timeouts and stuff,
okay?
Too, yeah.
In the first half, he had blown all his timeouts. So we're making that final drive, and he had already blown, in the second quarter early on when Achane scored, he had already exhausted all 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
Before he scored, they gave him the ball on second down, and he was ruled not to have been in. Now, if he would have had an extra timeout to challenge, it was a touchdown. They showed it on the Jumbotron. He got in, but thankfully it was second down and he had 2 more opportunities. He got it on the next one.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're halfway through the second quarter and you're out of all 3 of your timeouts, that's concerning. That's something that needs to be picked up on, and cleaned up. The other point is at the end of the game, Jason Sanders has had a volatile career. He's made some huge kicks, but he's also missed some ones.
Yes.
All right. And I take exception to the fact that he is settling for a 52-yard field goal. You had timeouts. At this point, he did have timeouts in that fourth quarter. Try and get as close as you can. Do not settle for a field goal of 52 yards. So, I thought that was very there was no sense of urgency. It was like, all right, we're going to set this thing up, run the ball, run the clock down, and kick this game winner with no time left on the clock.
And that's shaky, too.
Right.
I couldn't watch. I turned around. I said, let me know what happens.
Yeah.
I don't
know. To her point, she really did not watch.
I can't deal with that. My anxiety's too high.
She pretty much said, hey, I'll let the crowd tell me what happened.
I said, I can't deal with this. I'm going to go nuts.
But
you just let me know what happens.
cannot do that. I mean, why would you set yourself up for that's your only resort, your only shot to win the game in regulation?
After you missed an easy chip shot earlier in the game.
Correct.
How's your mentality at that
Exactly.
game? But Tyreek said at that point, he said that Tyreek was walking off the field because he already knew Sanders was going to make it. All right, Tyreek, that's great. You have that confidence in him, but we don't. So,
well, look, I do have confidence in him. But my point is, why, if you have the ball and first down, why are you, just content to run the ball, run the game clock out, and settle for a 52-yard field goal?
And I didn't want to go to overtime with them guys.
No, not at all. You're setting yourself up for that potentially. So that needs to be
addressed. Let bygones be bygones.
Yes.
We won.
We're
going to know.
That needs to be addressed and cleaned up. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, what do you got?
Bad news is that the Patriots also won, and so did the Bills. So there's a 3-way tie in the AFC East. However, you're wondering, why is it 3 and not 4? There's 4 teams in the AFC. Because the Jets.
Well, we're going to talk about that. We got the whole look around the league coming up. But what do you want to go to next?
13. So I'm wearing number 13 tonight.
Yes.
Also, wait, first. Public service announcement. PSA. Tomorrow is throwbacks. We are wearing the throwbacks. So just a reminder, wear your throwbacks tomorrow. It doesn't happen often, even though we all want it to be permanent. I'd say not all of us, but the majority. You know who doesn't like the throwbacks is Biggie.
Yes,
right?
Biggie, I've had conversations.
Not that we're throwing you on a bus, Biggie. We love you tremendously.
I'm trying to convince him, but he's all about the new look.
He is. He's a cool cat.
I don't hate it, but there's nothing like this logo.
No,
right
it's so sexy,
it's
man. I love it. So tomorrow, definitely, it's only happening 2 times this year. It's happening tomorrow, and it's also happening against Green Bay.
That's on the road, though. So your only chance down here to see it is tomorrow. Unless, and the NFL does allow for you to wear them in the postseason. So hopefully we win tomorrow, which ends up leading to winning the division, which means that we're going to host playoff games, and hopefully we see that logo again, in the playoffs when it really matters. So.
Yeah, so wear them tomorrow. I mean, you wear them all the time. Let me just tell you the truth. Wear it all the time.
Yes,
it's the best.
We love them.
Dust it off, but especially wear it tomorrow. So, yeah. So
you want to talk about, so you mentioned 13.
Yeah, we're doing it now.
I think it's only appropriate that we mentioned on the show last week, and I'm going to keep doing it because I've been doing a countdown since we got this thing. As Russ mentioned, this is from the movie Up. These are the two characters from Disney from the movie Up, but it is a wedding countdown, and we are at 13 days. We are at Dan Marino days to retie the knot. So it's a big deal. It's and we got a crazy. We're actually leaving on Tuesday, coming up now.
Don't remind me. We got nothing done.
We got a lot to do before we head out.
So much, man.
So backstory for those of you who are just joining or not aware, we are getting married on September the 24th. Do you have the football? Can you get the football really quick? It's over there.
Yeah.
Just bring it up. So we're getting married on September the 24th. And we had originally, we decided this at the beginning of the summer when we finalized it. But we had decided that we were going, once the schedule came out,
to see on Tuesday.
Yeah, so we decided that we were going, this is football that Ashley had made up. Team Dominguez. She is taking my last name, which is awesome. And it's got the date on there, September 24th. So that's like fast approaching. And, we decided that once the Dolphins were playing in Seattle, that we were going to attend that game week 3 in Seattle. Yeah. And then we were still contemplating as to when we were going to have our wedding. And we decided to get married while out west. And we decided to go to Napa Valley.
Yeah.
So we're going to start our adventure of a lifetime, right? In Seattle, Washington. This upcoming Tuesday, we are leaving on the 17th.
I can't believe that. Oh my gosh.
And we will be spending that whole week in Seattle leading up to the week 3 matchup against the Seahawks.
Yep.
And then we will be making our way down to the Bay Area, wine country, and San Francisco, and we are going to make it official.
Yes. People are asking us, like, the biggest question we're getting, 2 questions.
Am I nervous?
Yes.
No.
And we both, like, are you really not nervous?
I'm not. But I'll tell you, I did talk to your brother yesterday. I'm gonna put him on blast.
Oh my
your brother flat out said, "Hey," I said, "Yeah, your sister." He goes, "Are you nervous?" I go, "Oh, I'm nervous." And he goes, "Well, the second time's a charm." And I go, "What?" I mean, you had a previous brief marriage. Had to say it. I have not. I've never been married, and I am not nervous. But your brother said the second time's a charm, and I said, "No, I don't want a second time. This is my charm." So that was pretty fun. But no, I'm not nervous.
Yeah, I'm not nervous either. I think my nerves are coming from the travel. Obviously, I'm a travel guru, but given there's a lot going on, and we have connecting flights, and we have a lot of luggage going out there. So that's and then what's really making me nervous is actually the Dolphins playing against the Seahawks. That's not going to be an easy game.
That is one of the toughest. We'll preview. Yeah. We're gonna do a show from Seattle.
Are we?
Yeah, we're doing 2 shows next. Our next 2 shows will be live from the road. We'll be in Seattle.
Oh.
For our show next week at some point. We don't know when yet. And then at some point after we get married, we will be doing a show previewing the upcoming Monday Night Football game against the Titans. So our next 2 shows are going to be from Seattle, Washington, and from San Francisco, California. How about that?
Crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So no, but people are asking, we get that a lot. Are you nervous? I'm so my jitters are coming from the Dolphins, right? Tomorrow's not going to be easy. I knew the Jacksonville game was not going to be easy either, right? And so I'm just in football mode. And my biggest rule in life was not to get married during football season. I'm who does that kind of stuff? And here we are doing it, getting married during football season. But no sweat off the camel's back because we're not making anybody miss any football because we're eloping.
Yes, exactly. And again, so 13 days away from the big day. 13, it is nuts.
And guys, just to clear up the rumors, I will not be wearing my dress to that Monday night game. My dress is staying wedding vibes. So you will not see me in a wedding dress on Monday. You will see me in my finest dolphin attire. I will not be wearing my dress at the stadium.
Yes. And also, I just to clear up some more rumors, and I did this on social media earlier, Ashley is not pregnant.
No.
So if you see her drinking or whatever.
Not drinking.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. If
Yeah.
you see her, yes. Well, but if you see her drinking, don't say that, oh, she's pregnant. What is she doing? She's not pregnant. We're not getting married.
And if you don't see me drinking, it's not because I'm pregnant. It's because I have to be at work at 7 o'clock on Friday morning as well. I have a 7:30 meeting.
I don't know how you're doing that.
So do not give me shots tomorrow because this girl needs to be in the office at 7 o'clock on Friday. Yes. So those rumors are not true.
Yeah.
Okay, but the rumors that are true is that we did have a little incident leading up to the game on.
Can I just do you want to announce our winners from the contest last week?
Yeah, we can get into that. Yeah, so before we get juicy.
Talk first about the raffle.
Okay, guys. Again, we had a raffle the past few weeks for DCC. It was in honor of Maria Yakulo, who did pass away from cancer a few weeks ago. We had tickets donated for the Monday night game coming up against Tennessee. They were donated by Tim Wood, an awesome, great guy.
Who we met
Sunday. Finally.
Awesome.
Such
so
a cool
cool,
guy.
Tim. Thank you. You are awesome.
And he was able to go to a Marlins game. We gave him our tickets. He had like the best time.
Yes.
So he really had a great weekend. But he donated his tickets to me to raffle off for DCC. So that was awesome. We raised money and then we had the wheel and Danny won.
Yes, Danny Johnson.
Danny won our tickets. So he was gifted tickets and we raised money for DCC. So congratulations again to Danny for winning those tickets for Monday Night Football. And then on
TPP also had the beach bash on Saturday.
We'll get into that?
No, we'll get into that afterwards. But yeah.
No, so big shout out to Danny, big shout out to Tim, big shout out to everybody who even supported the raffle because everyone won because it all goes to obviously cancer research. And then we also were doing another fundraiser at the same time.
We had our squares. So here are your winners for the game one. It was the Chiefs and the Ravens. So those were your game one winners. And I want to give a quick shout out to David Christian, Steve K, Audrey, and Connie. Those were the winners for that game one. So shout out to them. And then game two, the game in Brazil between the Eagles and the Packers. Shout out to Tim Wood. So that was awesome. The Tim Wood who
donated tickets.
He won. Back. So he got his money back.
Divine intervention.
So that was pretty cool. My guy, Eddie Lara, El Presidente, as I like to call him. Eddie Lara is my guy. He has some
names for you too.
He does. He won the second quarter, so that was awesome. Frank Sommerfeld won the third quarter, and John Magua won the fourth quarter. So those were our winners. And I want to highlight Frank Sommerfeld because Frank ended up he donated his winnings. Very noble. His father passed away from cancer, and so he wanted to, in his dad's memory, he wanted to make a contribution and give back to the DCC cause that you've put together here. So I want to give a shout out to Frank Sommerfeld in memory of his dad, Ziggy.
Yes.
So Ziggy Sommerfeld you made the donation of his donation, his winnings he donated, and so they went into the DCC fund that he was gracious enough and very touching enough to give back. So that was an awesome moment, and I want to highlight that. So Ziggy Sommerfeld in his memory, that was a great cause for that.
Ziggy's name will be going on the back of the shirt of our Worldwide Dolphin fans as we run this year, or walk, run, bike for the DCC event in February. So we'll be honoring Ziggy even more when that comes around.
Yes, perfect. So thank you, Frank.
Yes. All right. Grandma's in the chat.
Is she?
Hello. She is.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. So, let's talk about it. So when we found out what happened, she was actually the first person I called.
Right.
I did.
We're of course talking about the Tyreek Hill gate, if you will.
Yeah.
And Calais Campbell. There's a lot of moving parts that took place. They were detained. They were officially not arrested. They were detained before the game started.
So let's back up. Okay, so we're enjoying tailgate. First, even let me back up more. Let's kind of go through the weekend. All right. So Friday we went to.
Well, let's talk about the Tyreek thing first, and then we'll.
I kind of want to lead up to it.
Well, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
So, we'll get there. Okay. Now you convinced me not to lead up to it. Okay. So we're in the tailgate, right? And so we're having a good time. We're seeing everybody. It's been some people we haven't seen in a year. Some people we haven't seen in a week.
Yeah, in a year, exactly.
It's a lot of hugs, a lot of this, a lot of that. Everything going on, right?
We had separated at this point before we found out. So where were you and What were you doing when you heard the news?
Yeah, so I was it was like Biggie. They had like a little tent, and guys, the heat, no joke, man. Oh, dude,
It
it
was
was
hot.
so, and
It
you
was
guys
hot
know,
out.
like I wear like nothing to these games. I'm pretty much naked at these games.
It's true.
And it was just unbearable. And I already have super low blood pressure. So like I was like 25 minutes into tailgate, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah, it was.
So I was staying hydrated, and any like a tent, I was just like
yeah.
sitting and like relaxing.
And that's that we have a roof at our stadium. I mean, there's no. I mean, remember we went to Tampa Bay? That's a stadium. There's no roof. I mean,
that was rough.
the Florida heat during this time of the year is no joke.
Yeah, but you know what I do mentally when I think about the heat?
What?
Do you know?
No.
I put myself in the mentality of Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
So
right.
that's
I'm
honestly,
gonna try that next time.
No, you know, it really, honestly, it worked. Like when we were baking on Sunday, I said, okay, Ash, feel what you felt in Kansas City. And it actually mentally cools me down a little bit. But anyways, so we were tailgating, we were bopping around, hugging this and that. And it was just really, really hot at that point. So it was with Biggie and his wife and our group right there. And they had the trunk open, and I kind of like plopped my butt in the trunk.
Right. You were posted up there.
Posted up, chilling. Ginger came up to me, a few people, right? Hugs and all this good stuff, right? And then
yeah, so I'm just taking pictures, hanging out, and Ghost of Adam Gase, from the dive bar pod, done a great job. Him and the guys comes running in and grabs like 4 people and says, "Oh my gosh, Tyreek just got arrested! Look at this! He's got the video." And I couldn't believe it. Nowadays
people are full of stuff. Well,
it's not just if he was saying it. Anybody. With AI and all these things and fake rumors, fake news.
Yeah, this one's not playing. Anybody.
You don't know,
anything.
But sure enough, he's showing me this video. And we're all seeing it, and then in real time, you just start. You back up, and you start. Yeah, you saw it like trickling down where everybody is getting the news that Tyreek has been arrested, not just detained. He's arrested right outside here. He's got arrested outside the stadium, and then news starts coming out that Calais Campbell is also arrested. So people are like making their way back out of the gates to see if they could see it happening. It was a surreal scene. I've never seen anything happen like that.
At first, we were told it happened on the east side of the stadium where we park yellow lot, but actually, when we found more, it's actually on the south side of the parking lot, towards, if you guys know, like the Walmart side, the south side. And so you're talking to the boys and stuff, goes out of gaze, you're talking to Biggie and everything. And what do? I call my grandmother. That's right. And I say, Nine.
Joe, she did. She called you.
I said, Nine.
What on the news?
She's a huge Dolphin fan. And she loves her news. She loves her all different stations. She loves her Facebook. I said, Nine. Tyreek got arrested. What? So she's going crazy. What? And then after I call her, do you know the second person I called?
No.
My boss.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Meanwhile, he's giving mass. It's 10:30. He's in the middle of a mass. And I'm like, emergency. Tyreek got arrested. So the first 2 people I called was my pastor and my grandmother.
Yeah.
And good. You guys are like, I mean, they're granted, to their defense, we're huge Dolphin fans. They're monster Dolphin fans. So it's not like I just called a priest for divine intervention and my grandmother.
We're
like
monster fans.
We are, but they're also they're also
big time
Dolphin fans. So it's not like I called them just to call my granny and just to call my pastor. I called them because I needed to tell people. So you're trying to get the details, and then it's sunk in, right? And then we're trying to put like all the pieces together, but we don't know any pieces. So then the first thing I think is that, okay, yes, he was probably driving fast. Maybe he got pulled over, or maybe the cops got him for something prior and knew he was going to pull up to the stadium and they were waiting for him. So those are the 2 things that were going through.
That was the most likely thing that I thought.
Because he's in trouble a lot. Like you said, the thing.
But who gets it's 10:30 in the morning before the game? It didn't make sense. The speeding thing. I thought, like you said, that maybe they're getting him from something else that happened.
Child support or
whatever.
something. Anything. It's Tyreek. Anything happens.
That would have been dumb to do that.
That would have been really petty to really do that.
Yeah. So
then we find out, the rumors are spreading. We're like, okay, maybe Adam did have something really going here. And then we see the video and we're like, oh crap, that really is Tyreek. And then we talk about it, and then tailgate proceeds, but we're all like trying to still scoop information and trying to figure out, like, dude, is he playing? Is he not? Like, what is going on? Right. So as the game gets closer and closer, we do hear from people like, okay, he's playing. So now we know at this point he was not put to jail. Or if he went to jail, it was quick. He's booked it out. Yeah. But we do know he's playing. So that's like, okay.
But we still wanted to see it for ourselves. So we went inside the stadium because we
needed to see
we wanted to see warm-ups. And so we did confirm that he was out there in his jersey. We took pictures of it to document it. We put it out there to say, hey, if anybody's not sure, here's a picture of him out there. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So Tyreek.
Is that Thomas thing? You got the cute up? Is that Thomas?
Oh, I don't. I will though. But I can.
Okay.
So that was absolutely crazy. So now we find out more to the story.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stay away from the subject because
I want to talk about it. I mean, people may
well,
not
I'm
like
gonna say
it,
a little bit.
I'm
gonna say a little bit, right? I mean, I'm gonna be very cautious how I say this too. Drink your water. I love Tyreek, right? We
love him. Love him.
You and I went to an amazing gala he hosted 2 years ago. I host galas. I've been to plenty, but we had such a great time.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a lot for the community. Yes, off the field and on the field, but a lot of off the field, maybe questionable things. But he does do a lot of good things. He's fun. He's a great player. I mean, any team would pick him up. He's Tyreek Hill, and he chooses to keep his talents in South Beach, as LeBron said one time, and all that stuff. Should he have been speeding? No, I speed. We speed.
All speed. Everybody,
right?
Everybody speeds at some point.
The window part. Okay, Terry. The cops just put your window down. Drop it. Let him know. Whatever. And that's as far as I can take the cop's side at that point.
Yeah.
That's as much blame as I could put on Tyreek. Tyreek, you're speeding. You got me there. You should have put the window down. And he admitted that he should have put the window down.
Right.
Everything else from that point.
I love everything he's been saying, by the way. He said, look, I'm not here to divide people. He said, I'm not taking knees. I'm not calling for police reform.
Yeah.
He wants to just get through this unscathed, and he wants to get to the bottom of the way things took place. And look, the window thing is where it all starts. I mean, I love Tyreek. He's awesome. He is also, he's not like a ghetto dude. He's from the country. He's from Georgia.
Southern Georgia, for that fact.
Real Southern Georgia.
Mama's boy.
He's
all
a
this
fun
stuff.
dude. He's a little crazy sometimes. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a little crazy sometimes. Okay. We all are. So Tyreek sometimes, does things a little bit extra,
He's extra.
Take his celebration, by the way, which was, on brand for him, right?
So good though.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was awesome. And by the way, I know that whatever he had planned for week 1 before this happened, he's got that in his back pocket, and that'll be coming out.
Cartwheels are going to be coming.
If not tomorrow, future game, he's going to read whatever he had planned, he'll do.
Agreed.
So, but look, this has to do with the window thing. I know that people are like, oh, come on. The cops did go extra. A lot of talk, a lot of inappropriate and unnecessary
words,
commentary.
And crybaby.
Yeah. Didn't say that. And the pushes in the back and all that. But the fact of the matter is, and I'm going to stick this, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to be honest. If the window is put down all the way, it's not an issue, okay? Because at the end of the day, I don't care if it was 10:30. I don't care if the cop knew he was a Dolphin player. You have to prepare for the worst in that line of business. And I'm going to stand by that. I'm sorry. You got a tinted window, which, you could have gotten another ticket for that because tinted windows are illegal in Florida, okay? The window's extremely tinted. If it goes all the way up, and then, not saying Tyreek would do this, but you don't know who you're dealing with. If that person inside the car
of course
has a weapon and pulls it out, and the next time the windows roll down, it's too late for the cop to react or to prepare himself. So I'm not saying that I'm on anybody's side, okay? I'm obviously a Tyreek fan, a monster Tyreek fan. But I think, and he even said, quote me if I'm wrong, he did say, I wish I could do things differently.
1,000%.
And I believe he's alluding to the fact that he didn't put the window down, and comply with the officers. You're not going to win. Not Tyreek, not whoever it is. You're not going to win an argument with the police. You're not going to do it. So whatever they tell you to do it. In this day and age, people are likely recording it. There's cameras on every corner. So the incident will be recorded. Obviously, they have their body cams and dash cam. Just comply. And whatever they've done wrong, then it's on them. Because
let them mess up.
Exactly. Let them mess up. But you can't give them wiggle room for them to, put you in that position. Again, not defending the actions, but, he said it for a reason. I wish I would have done something differently. And I have to assume, I'm not quoting what he said, but I have to assume that he's alluding to the window not being rolled down.
That's exactly what it is. But he did call for the firing of the cop who was excessive with him, which I think most people can agree, whether you're law enforcement, whether you're not, whether you're pro-police, whether you're not, that what we saw on camera was very excessive and it should not have happened. What broke my heart, one of the pieces, was hearing Tyreek's voice. If you were to close your eyes and hear him crying out for Drew.
Yes, his agent,
His
Drew
agent, Drew
Rosenhaus.
Rosenhaus.
Drew Rosenhaus is awesome. He's a big,
the biggest agent
one of
in
the biggest agent in
sports.
all
We've
sports,
met him
pretty
and
much.
everything.
He's awesome.
And you just heard him say,
that's-
Drew.
Yeah, they're being arrested. I'm being arrested. You know that.
And then when Calais Campbell came, you heard Tyreek yelling, call Drew, call Drew, call Drew, because obviously Drew has such a great relationship with these guys on and off the field, and that's who Tyreek wanted to know. So it was yeah. Obviously, we're all processing this situation, and you know we have to hope that.
Russ says that. Look, I'm leaving race out of it. I'm so tired. I know you don't want to talk about it, but I am so tired of the race thing. You know, Russ, I think me and you see eye to eye on almost everything. So I don't want to talk about race. It could have been anybody. You know, the bottom line is, you know, you have to comply with the officer.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you're not going to win. You're not going to win the battle. If they mess up and they do Rodney King acts or whatever, it's going to come out, and then it's all on them, and then all bets are off. You know, all of them will be fired. But you cannot give any wiggle room to, you know, have that happen based on your actions. So that's all I'm saying. And Russ also just brought up a point that there is a local jail in Philly. In the stadium.
There is.
In the stadium.
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows that.
The old vet used to have it as well.
Everybody knows that.
Lincoln Financial, the Link has it now. So, yes,
everybody
it's a good thing this didn't happen in Philly. Otherwise, he might have gone right into that jail cell. So.
Yes, everybody knows. No, so with the Tyreek thing, we are finding out more and more information. I mean, everyone has their opinion about it.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate all around. There's nothing good that's coming out of it. And I think Tyreek handled it amazingly. You know, he went on there. He goes, I'm not going to not stand for the national anthem. I don't want to defund the police.
I love that.
Tyreek is very, very, very classy when it comes to all of this. And if anything, I have even more respect for him.
Yeah, and he did comply when he said, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. So he did the right thing.
I agree.
You know, it sucks. Look, that's our guy, right? That's our guy. And you don't want to, this is beyond football. I don't care, you know, that he played or not. You want the guy to be safe, right? You don't want the guy to go through something like that. So, you know, thank goodness it didn't get worse. Another thing is, you know, Tyreek is a little extra sometimes. So I was fearful that the body footage would have showed him saying, hey, do you know who the hell I am? Or I got to get in there. I got touchdowns to score. He didn't do any of that, you know, because that, right. His personality may, you know, some people may think that he would have been cocky and arrogant. He didn't do any of that. He didn't say, do you know who I am? And how many times have you seen a celebrity do that? White, black, orange, green, whatever.
Yeah.
Always see celebrities drop their name. Hey, I'm here. I'm this person. He didn't do any of that. I think he did say, you know, I'm here to play a game, but he did not say who he was, which who he is he's, let's be real.
The best on the team.
Not the team. They did the rankings at the beginning of the season. Tyreek was ranked the #1 player in the NFL.
Wow.
He didn't say, hey, I'm the best player. Do you know who you got? Do you know who you just pulled over? The best player in the whole league. He didn't say any of that.
Yeah.
You know, so credit to him. He you know, it sucked that he had to go through that. That's all I'm saying. So,
Agreed.
but a lesson to be learned, right? You know, and hopefully that's. And
I sure hope it doesn't carry on into the game tomorrow. You know, obviously the Coach McDaniel was affected by it. The whole team was affected by it. And so, you know, let's learn and move on from it. And let's hope that, you know,
it doesn't happen. It's a learning moment for everybody. Hopefully, you know, that's where it goes. And the people that maybe messed up, if there's further investigation that shows that there's unnecessary things done, then, you know, let that come out and the appropriate measures be taken.
Yeah.
Really quick, Kurt's in the room. Kurt is in town. He is actually by the beach, and he can confirm that there are harassing Bills fans taking over the elbow room.
Of course there
so I'm sorry you're going through that, Kurt.
Terrible.
Hopefully we can have a response tomorrow night at the Hard Rock.
No, definitely. Talking about events at night. I tried to relate, but there's nothing. I want to talk about Richmond Webb. I'm sorry. I'm like so eager to talk about it. Guys, you have seen what happened last weekend. Our boy, my big brother, our friend, Richmond Webb was in the house, literally in the house. So let me back up a little bit. We're obviously trying to get Richmond Webb into the Hall of Fame. We are doing everything we possibly can as fans, as Dolphin fans, as supporters of Richmond, as lovers of the NFL, as just good people to do our part to get Richmond Webb in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, as he is very, very deserving. And this is the time to do it. And so myself, and along with an amazing committee we formed with Maria, Ali, Lisa, and Dan from France, we are doing everything possible we can to really put his name and his awareness out there. So on Saturday night, we had a Richmond game night, and it was amazing. Let me tell you, we had
sorry to cut you off, but we did have a beach bash prior to where Richmond attended. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So he came out. He didn't have to do that. He had a double event, and he came out. I know Danny had reached out to him, and he came out and greeted the people at the beach. It was really hot that day as well.
Hot, and I told him I knew he was going to the beach. I was like, Richmond, bring your swim trunks. He was like, no, I ain't swimming. I said, okay, you wait until you get on the beach. And he stuck to it. He really did not go in the water. Meanwhile, every 10 minutes, I was dipping in and out. I was not feeling it. I got sunburned. And Richmond's, no disrespect, you are 4 or 5 times my size. And you were in a good way. Yeah. And he was blazing in the sun. And so he came out to the TPP Beach Bash, which was an amazing event. Just as itself. Danny Johnson had a great event that we had in Fort Lauderdale Beach. Tons of people came out. And it was just a good kickoff. Just fun. Good fun.
You mentioned you went in the water a couple times. I couldn't do that. And I also was going to dress up as a macho man for a little bit. Crazy. But it was too hot. I couldn't put on that wig and all that stuff. There's no way. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So it was just such a great time at the beach party. And then that led to us getting changed and going to the Richmond Webb event. So at the Richmond Webb event, we've been planning this event for a few weeks now. And so we had it at the Marriott Maritime Hotel, a hotel that Maria found for us. And we did a few things to really encompass it. First of all, we wanted to make sure the event was completely free, and we were able to do so. And that was great. We didn't want to charge an admission fee. We didn't want to charge for autographs. What we did do is we did do a raffle, and all the proceeds to the raffle went to the Dan Marino Foundation. So we were able to raise over $1,000 for items dolphin related and Richmond related that went to the
I won one of them.
You did.
I'll get to that. I'll show off my winnings. Cool. Loved it. Thank you.
So we had these cool pictures printed out. So Richmond signed this was actually one he did sign. He signed these. And, I did ask him.
He's got all his accolades posted there.
So I did tell him, I said, oh, Lou didn't like that your face was covered like that. You know what he said? He said he always wore that face mask. He always wore a face mask. So he goes, that's me. I always wear a face mask. So this is truly the Richmond Webb picture. Amazing picture. He signed that. And then we had these bracelets made up. We did something like this, similar for Zach Thomas. And it was just awareness. The Richmond Webb Hall of Fame.
Show his name on there.
So people who came to the event, I cuffed them with the bracelet. So everyone got these bracelets. We also had these cool stickers made for Richmond. Everything, again, free. And the only thing if you wanted to buy was obviously food and drinks. And then we had these T-shirts made.
Which I'm wearing mine now. And you could, I want to show the back of it too.
Yeah.
So it's got, this is the front. I'm wearing it too now. It's awesome. It's got his likeness on it with our message, get him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And in the back, it's got also all his accolades. With his big 78 there.
Yep.
So this is just really cool. What you guys put together was awesome. And
we're going to be selling the shirts tomorrow. We have about 30 left in person, and then the rest you can get them online, and they will be shipped right to your house. So definitely wear Richmond shirts. They're super cool. They're super comfy, and let's just continue to spread the word to get Richmond Webb in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. And so Calvin breaks news. I don't know. I think this is true. He's saying Brian Cox, obviously the number one, if I can, Bills hater, is going to be the honorary captain tomorrow for the game, apparently. So that's pretty awesome. That'll be cool to fire up the crowd. Kurt says that he loves your jersey. He's going to be bringing out his greasy tomorrow. That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
And yes, wow. Thank you, Russ, for bringing that up. James Earl Jones, Darth Vader, Eddie Murphy's dad and Coming to America, King Joffrey, so yeah, come on. I mean, the presence, the voice, he was in Field of Dreams. He was in so many, he was Conan the Barbarian. I mean, so many great movies, big hits, The Sandlot. I mean, James Earl Jones, a great giant. He lived a long life though, 93 years old. Mufasa, that's right. 93 years old. So he lived a great life. So but Rip, man, he was one of the all-time greats. Thank you, Russ. Thank you.
So we had such.
I want to show you my winnings if I can.
We had such a long, busy weekend. Still exhausted, and then we're doing it again tomorrow, and then we're going to Seattle next week.
Yes.
So ironically enough, this is actually pretty funny. So for the raffle, I had a raffle wheel, and I, gave everybody on the committee jobs. I said, okay, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, do this, and then my job was to read the actual numbers because I wanted Richmond to stick his hand in the raffle wheel to pick the ticket. So it'd be like, oh, Richmond would pick my ticket. Well, joke was on me because Richmond went to put his hand in the raffle wheel
got stuck.
and he couldn't fit it. So then him and I switched. So I stuck my hand. I was the raffle puller, and he announced the numbers.
So there was how many? You had a lot of prizes, and
Yeah,
I bought my
13,
raffle tickets.
14 prizes.
I bought my raffle tickets like everybody else. You did pull it out, but hey, listen, there was nothing there. Everything we do is with a lot of transparency. Everybody saw it. So, but I did win this awesome Dan Marino magazine. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Look at Dan in that jersey. Marino on the Record is the name of the this magazine. This one of a kind, unique magazine. So that's pretty awesome. And that was cool. Dan Marino's my guy, so that's awesome. But I also won this amazing mini helmet signed by the man of the hour, Richmond Webb. Signed this.
Old school logo too.
This old school, incredible Miami Dolphins, original color helmet with Richmond Webb's signature. So, I mean, I couldn't be happier.
No,
this is
cool.
amazing. I mean,
so when Richmond came, I was like, all right, you need to come here. And we had him sign all of this stuff. So it was for a good 10 minutes. So that was one of the items that he did sign. And no, it was just a fantastic. We had such a great weekend last weekend. We stayed at the Best Western Plus Oceanside Resort in Fort Lauderdale. So if you are looking for a hotel and you come to the area, definitely consider the Best Western
Awesome.
Plus. They had a saltwater pool, which was amazing.
You don't see that anymore.
You don't.
Because we have a beach here too well. But it was so convenient to just come out of your room for breakfast in the morning. And,
that breakfast was so good.
Dive into that saltwater pool.
And then the bed was
very cool.
The bed was super, super comfy. And then on top of that, the shower had 4 heads in it.
Yes.
And no, the bed was just something else. It was a really, really, really comfortable stay. So if you guys are looking for a hotel in Fort Lauderdale, you come down here, definitely consider the Best Western Plus. It was a fantastic stay. We really, really enjoyed it.
It was. All right. So I'm going to get to this week in Dolphins history. I'll make this quick. I think you got some pictures you're going to show along with it.
Let's do it.
All right. So this week in Dolphin history, I'm going to take you back to week 2 years ago. This game was played in September the 18th, 2022, a game that we were at, and Ashley's about to show you. And I'm, of course, talking about the Charm City comeback at Baltimore. There we are. Final score 42-38. But how did we get to that? Well, we got to it by the Dolphins being down 28-7 at halftime. Okay. And they were down 35-14 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I'm not sure why we're seeing donuts here, but is this live?
No, they're still there. I'm trying to pull up the other thing.
Okay, pull up the other one. All right, sorry. But we were down
behind the scenes.
Sorry. We were down 35-14 at the end of the third quarter, heading into the fourth. But Tua went absolutely bonkers in the fourth quarter. Tua threw 4 touchdowns in quarter number 4. 1 to River Craycraft, our guy who hopefully is getting healthy here soon. 2 to Tyreek Hill, and the game winner to Jalen Waddle. And the Dolphins outscored the Ravens 28-3 in the fourth quarter and silenced the M&T Bank Stadium crowd. I think Ashley just showed you a couple pictures there. Her first certificate. Yep, there's the first game, her first Raven game. It has the Dolphins on there with the date. And then she also showed you a picture of, we were joined in that game by Jared and Allie Goodman and Alex Butsky.
Hold on, I got those pictures too.
Show that. My takeaway from that is that me and Alex, so the Dolphins obviously were down, as I mentioned, 35-14 going into the fourth quarter, and all the Ravens fans were making fun of us. Oh, you came up here and wasted a trip, wasted your time. So I said, this game's not over yet. This game's not over. Okay. So every time we scored, Alex and me were just saying, Alex is in the back. He's wearing a penguin, ironically enough, for Waddle. There's Allie and Jared, Dolph Freaky. We got Jared, her husband, and Alex joined us. We all sat right by the end zone where the Dolphins scored all these touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And so after every score, me and Alex were going back and forth. Alex, we're in the game. Lou, we're in the game. Alex, we're in the game. And the Ravens fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. So just a crazy game. Tua for the game finished for a career high 469 yards passing. He had 6 touchdowns in the game. He did have 2 interceptions, but 6 touchdowns in the game. And just, we may not see a game as great as that again, at least not a comeback. You score 20, you're down 21 points in the fourth quarter, and they came back. That was a historic day. Wow, we were really lucky. And then also, we are on the bad side of history as well. I have to mention, Lamar Jackson in that game became the first quarterback to throw for a touchdown pass over 75 yards and have a 75-yard run. So he ran for a 75-yard touchdown and he threw a 75-yard touchdown. That has never since happened in NFL history.
I got to say something. Okay, so it's funny you say that because the first thing that comes to my mind when you say that is that another away game that we got into where a quarterback just exploded, but we still ended up winning was Chicago.
Justin Fields.
Where Justin Fields
yeah, he went nuts
as well. But we ended up winning that game.
Yeah, so we've seen some record
quarterbacks
right.
do some poo-poo on us.
Yeah, right, but we won the game, so that's all that matters.
And
the Dolphins won this game to start off 2-0. This was week 2, just 2 years ago, September 18th, 2022. Yeah. I mentioned the 2 threw 6 touchdowns, 2 to Hill, 2 to Waddle, 1 to Craycraft, and 1 to Mike Gesicki. So just a career day for Tua.
That was great. So obviously, real quick, you guys know tomorrow we have our first AFC East matchup against the Villains, the Bills. Bills just came off a win last week against Arizona. They were home and they weren't winning. They came back and won that. I know
they did.
You were obviously really focused. We were both focused on the Dolphins, but I was like, the Bills are losing. They were
actually losing by the same score we were. They were down 17-7 at one point, as were we. So, yeah, they were struggling.
So Bills were losing. And I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be cool. But then you ended up actually winning. So Bills come to town. They're already here. And tomorrow, Thursday night, Amazon Prime for those who are not in the local market. So obviously get your Amazon Prime if you don't. Throwbacks again.
Yep.
We're only wearing them tomorrow, and we're wearing them against Green Bay. So adjust them out. With Green Bay, we've actually played with Green Bay. With Buffalo, we've actually played them 121 times. And we have won 62 of those matchups, and we have lost 58 of those matchups. I know in the last few years, it feels like we have lost more than we've won, which is true.
Yep.
And we actually tied one of those games as well. Last year, not to open up closed wounds, we did lose both of those matchups to them. The one that hurt the most was obviously the home game because that could have
for all the marbles, it would have won the division. Yeah.
So I remember we lost that game, and then traffic was super bad getting out of there, like it always is, but it was really bad. And then we were in the car that game deciding if we're going to go to Kansas City or not.
Yeah.
And Lou has a hard time making decisions. He was like, do we not go? Do we do? So we were taking the L and then also trying to plan a trip to Kansas City. So I remember that going, as well last year.
But it's actually, you mentioned we lost 2 last year, but it's actually now 4 in a row because if you go back to the previous season, back in 2022, we lost 2 games in the winter months in Buffalo. One was that infamous snowball game on Saturday night, I believe. No, it was Saturday night because you did a toy drive. So we lost to them on Saturday night at Orchard Park. And then we played in a playoff game, of course, without Tua, where we should have won that game, actually, but we fell to them in that playoff game. So we're actually we've lost 4 in a row, dropped 4 in a row to these hated nemesis Bills.
Yeah, so tomorrow it is a night game. They are right now, which I wouldn't be surprised, calling for very, very bad weather. It has been monsooning every day.
Yeah, it has.
So right now they're projected during our tailgate to be very, very bad weather. So yeah, it's going to be hot, but it's not going to be hot like a steamy 1 o'clock game.
Right.
But it's going to be most likely a wet.
It'll be humid out.
Humid and wet.
And wet, yes.
Yeah. So that happens.
Since it is the Bills tomorrow, I'd be remiss if I didn't show that I'm wearing my PFHOF hat. So I'll be, wearing this tomorrow. I actually also have some that I will be made available for you guys if you want. So we got this one. We got another Buck Buffalo. We got another one Buck Buffalo, and another one. So we have some that I will be having if you'd like one. And the message is clearly, especially with tomorrow night's game, it is. Can you show it there really quick?
They can see it.
It says Sunday, Monday.
They don't see the part. Yeah,
that part. So Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, it's always Buck Buffalo. So
for sure.
my 2 cents.
No, it's obviously playing our arch nemesis early on the season. So it is a must win in my eyes. You have to put a statement in the AFC East, right? Obviously, we know that the Jets lost, but here's the thing. They did lose, but they did lose against the 49ers, and 49ers are really, really good team. Also with the 49ers, a lot of people, including myself, are projecting for them to be in the Super Bowl. So that would be very, very, yeah.
No, so Adrian mentions that we got to run the football. We talked about it earlier. We need to run the football tomorrow. Very, very important. We got to be able to do it. Absolutely, Eric B. We're ready for tomorrow night, no doubt. And we will be hopefully eating buffalo wings tomorrow. We definitely, I think, will be able to do that. But now, look, we got to run the ball. We're going to have to come out with a win. You said it's a must win, and it sounds silly this early in the season, especially week 2. It's literally still like kickoff week. But look, this is a team that's won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
One of their players is now with us. Jordan Poyer is now a member of the Dolphins after being with the Bills. He flat out said it. If you remember at the beginning of the preseason, or actually during training camp, he said, look, I got to be honest with you. The last couple of meetings with the Dolphins, while as a member of the Bills, we looked over into that locker room and on that sideline, and we had a feeling that when the moment got too big, they were going to let this game go. And so those words alone should inspire you. And now hopefully the Jordans are our side and gives us that information. Hopefully these guys, are able to push back, right? Push back. You can't be little brother anymore. They're the division winners 2 years running now. They've taken the last 4 from us. Yeah. They broke our hearts last year in the last game of the season, at home with the division on the line. And so there's
must win.
It is a must win because the next game's in Buffalo. You don't want to, you can't go down 0-2. So this is a must win tomorrow.
Now, also, when we say it's a must win, people are like, okay, it's a must win, but then Seattle, are you going to be 3-0, 4-0? Okay, I'd rather, and I don't want to say this, but I would rather take an L in Seattle than take an L tomorrow.
I don't want to take any L's.
I don't, but if that was
look, it's 1 week at a time.
Yeah.
We got to win this game tomorrow.
I agree.
The Dolphins are 1.5 point favorites in this game.
Yep.
And you want to go ahead and make your prediction first?
Just real quick, I will make my prediction, but again, we spoke about this earlier in earlier in the season, earlier in the show. Raheem Mostert is out for sure for this game tomorrow with a chest injury, non-disclosed chest injury, so we don't know really how bad it is. Devon Achane is questionable, and obviously we know our regular guys who are not playing, obviously Bradley Chubb and Malik Washington and the list from previous.
Right. They don't have any people of significance on their injury report.
Yeah.
Josh Allen did Josh Allen things last week. He didn't throw the ball crazy, but he did run for 39 yards on the ground. He's able to always use his legs. James Cook was a featured back. He had under 100 yards, but, is still a very capable back. And then the rookie, Keon Coleman, definitely is a guy. He led the team actually last week as a rookie, replacing Stephon Diggs. So Keon Coleman is somebody to watch out for. And then on the defensive side, you got from the U, number 50, big Greg Rousseau. Yeah. This is the guy that had 3 sacks last week against Kyler Murray. So that's the guy, as a Dolphin fan, you want to identify and make sure that he doesn't have a clear path to get Tua, because getting 3 sacks last week shows you that this guy's hungry and can definitely get to the quarterback. So we got to get the ball out quick.
Put pressure on their offense, cause mistakes, force mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that needs to go into this game. Sanders needs to be perfect. There's a lot there.
Yeah, you can't make any mistakes against these guys. They've made us pay for it over years. I don't want to, whatever, but going back to last year, the last game of the year, Tua throws a pick, at the end. You cannot give these guys opportunities. We had a 14-point lead in that game. They didn't do anything in the first half, and then they came back and beat us 21-14. So you cannot take the gas pedal, your foot off the gas pedal when playing the Buffalo Bills. You got a chance to go for the jugular. You got to go for it. Just like, at the end of this game, when McDaniel settled for that 52-yard field goal to win the game, you can't settle for anything against Buffalo, because they will come back and make you pay. So we got to take care of business tomorrow at the Rock.
2017 Dolphins.
2017.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope it's not that close. I do think it's going to be a little higher scoring. They can obviously move the ball, and so I'm going to say 28-24. 28-24 Dolphins is my prediction.
All right, we shall see what happens.
Yeah.
And guys, real quick, obviously you know that U is back. We are 2-0. People, it's talk of the town, man. We're excited. Go ahead.
Sorry, before we get to the U, I just want to run off a couple of notable games in week 1. Obviously, the Chiefs beat the Ravens 27-20 to open up the season.
Eagles won.
That game came down to a Isaiah Likely toe right on the line. It was a fantastic game to open up the year. That was great. The very next night, our week 2 game in our squares pool in
Eagles
Brazil.
In Green Bay.
Yeah, the big note of that game, of course, is for the Green Bay.
Done.
Yeah, Jordan Love. I mean, he's not done for the whole season. They're optimistic that he's going to come back, but he's gone for a while, and that obviously changes everything. He got paid a lot of money as a franchise quarterback, and so him not manning the offense is going to definitely set them back a little bit. The big one for me was, and this was the biggest line spread of the week, the Patriots under new Coach Mayo. The Patriots went into Cincinnati, and
Bengals.
Granted, the Bengals, with Jamar Chase not, having some contract issues and not being on the same page with Joe Burrow. But look, still, Cincinnati is a team that was in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. And so the Patriots going in there and winning that game 16-10 in a defensive battle, you got to respect that.
I agree.
Just saying.
My thoughts and prayers go out to the New York Giants and their fans. That's going to be rough. One thing at the end of the day, I just must say, I don't agree with what they're doing to Daniel Jones. You don't burn his jersey. You don't wait till the guy comes out of the locker room to his car and boo him and disrespect him. That's not cool, guys. At the end of the day, these guys have families. Obviously New York is one of the, if not the hardest markets to play in. But no, Giants, not that I thought they were going to be anything to really worry about in the NFC. I really think the Cowboys are going to be okay and pull that away. But still, it's rough that, the Giants put all of their marbles into a guy from Duke, Daniel Jones, and obviously he hasn't produced for them. And so that's going to be a long season for them.
Yep, no doubt. And those uniforms have been getting a lot of slack. The Giants are wearing some new 100-year anniversary or something up that really did not look good at all. Eric B asked if we'll be at the game tomorrow. We will. So definitely look out for us. Russ mentions that his Phillies are they've been playing great baseball.
Although we played pretty well against them last week, minus the one that we went to where it was let's not just go into that. We'll skip over that.
Yeah, we went into a game. It was 14-1.
It was Friday night.
Yeah, that was tough. So
ridiculous. It's painful. Yeah. It's our last Marlins game of the season that we were able to go to.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's just like a dagger. Although Sandy's coming back next year, so.
Yeah, I want to touch up 2 other games just to end the week here. Week 1, the Lions on Sunday Night Football edged the Rams in overtime, 26-20. So that was an interesting game. Obviously, those 2 quarterbacks, Stafford and Goff, were traded for each other. Stafford ended up going to the Super Bowl and winning one with the Rams. So that was an interesting game from that perspective. And then on Monday Night Football, I'm sorry, I can't cry for you, the Jets, but Aaron Rodgers looked horrible. He looked like Sam Darnold. Actually, Sam Darnold looked better than Aaron Rodgers did in his debut. Now, I will say this. A lot of people are making fun of the Jets, and rightfully so, right?
We've been doing the Niners, though, out there. I mean,
on the road, right? The defending NFC champions.
Aaron Rodgers' first game back after sitting a whole season. I'm not, thinking, okay, the Jets are done. I'm still very much kind of, shaking in my boots a little bit about them as well. I think the Patriots kind of got a little lucky last week, but I don't think we should just forget about the Jets. I think this could have been a week 1 fluke thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, look, Aaron Rodgers hasn't played in a year. He played 30 seconds last year.
Yeah.
So he's.
I'm happy that they lost. Trust me.
Yeah. But I'm not going to go ahead and judge that as being.
No, I didn't know. I didn't give. No, I know you gave some Jets. I know that you gave some Jets smack talk, but I'm not.
Yeah, it's too early. It's too early.
I'm not ready to eat those words and stuff.
Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, and we'll talk about this on next week's show.
Yeah.
We are going to Berkeley, where Aaron Rodgers played, and we're going to try to get a tour of Memorial Stadium out there, where the Cal Golden Bears play, which is one of the most premier venues in college football. We'll definitely take some shots out there and talk about it in the show.
Yes. No, we have one of millions of things. So you want to stay tuned to our travels, just look at Blue's social media. It's a travel blog live.
Well, yes, exactly. So as Adrian Rainey says it from the Rainy Day Pod, A-Train in the house, he's throwing up the U, and we'll throw up the U right now. I know you want to talk that U?
Yeah, no, I just want to really quick mention that, really hot start. Obviously, that win in Gainesville was a huge momentum starter for our season. People are still talking about it. Really, really excited about that.
Yeah.
And we played FAMU last week, which
the Rattlers,
but you just don't sleep on any team. But it was just another little mark on our belt, another win. So
they destroyed them. I mean, they just they won that game beyond handily, and they actually, in doing so, with some other upsets in the top 10, they moved from number 12 to number 10.
Yeah.
So the Hurricanes are now ranked 10th in the nation. That's huge.
Ball State comes to Hardrock this weekend on Saturday. We only match up this Saturday because obviously we have the Thursday game, and then our Dolphins head to Seattle and we follow them out there. So no, people are definitely drinking the Kool-Aid. Is the U back? I mean, yeah, we want to believe that it's back. Obviously, we have still FSU. FSU is struggling, but again, they're kind of like the Jets.
FSU.
Exactly. They're the FSU and the Jets. They're kind of like the Saints to me, right? It's like, you want to see them struggle. You want to see them squirm, but you know that they're still going to come and still make a statement, and they want to stand. But even though Dolphins are great, Canes are great, the Jets and FSU still want to rain on a parade.
Yeah, and the Patriots too. Throw them in there as well.
Yeah.
So, but no, look, Cam Ward, another big game, right? Inferior, lesser competition here, but he went 20-26, so he made all his throws, 306 yards. He threw for 3 touchdowns, and he ran for another. So, look, the kid's moving the ball. He's doing his thing. So,
good.
Exciting
Mario
times.
Cristobal doesn't have fire being thrown at him. Things are happy over there. So, we shall see.
Yep.
And then, just obviously to close it up.
Do you have the video for Zach Thomas? I wanted to show this.
I don't have the video. I only have.
Can you pull it up? So I never go viral. Ashley does this all the time. But we're leaving the Dolphin game. Obviously, it was a walk-off win, right? Jason Sanders kicks a field goal. I'm trying to get it up. I want to see this.
I can pull it on my phone. Let me pull it up. Yeah.
So Jason Sanders kicks this game-winning field goal. No time's left on the clock. And as we're walking out, we see Zach Thomas in a suite, and he's going nuts. Zach Thomas, and you'll see it here in a second, he's just really excited. He's pumped up, and he's saluting every fan who's, making their way out of the stadium. So he's high-fiving, he's hugging fans. And like I said, I never go viral. That's more of a her thing. But I posted the video. I put it on Twitter, and it's got like 300,000 likes, which I guess that's viral, right? It's not like super viral, but that's a lot of people. And just
you post so much, Lou. I gotta scroll all the way down here. Oh no, you know what? I'm looking at my own. I'm on my own page. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
Yeah, go to my page.
I know.
For your page.
I'm sorry.
But no, it was a cool moment, and I just, I didn't.
Here it is. Ready? Okay.
That wasn't my intention.
No, they can see it perfect. Either way, they can see it perfect like that.
So it'll play again, right? Just no. Go back. Show one more time. So here he is. He's just shaking everybody's hands, high-fiving people, taking pictures. Just a really cool moment. And so Okay,
this is also, we should show this too.
Oh.
Okay, that's enough of.
I actually was going to contemplate starting the show in handcuffs, and Ashley was going to cut me loose, but to show solidarity with Tyreek. But no, look, that was a pretty cool moment, right? So that was a cool moment, the celebration. But no, Zach Thomas, I just captured a candid moment, and I felt that was not my intention, but everybody retweeted it and reposted it, and then people quoted it saying, "This is a man of the people. He cares. He gets it. He celebrates with the fans." It's the reason why so many people went out to Canton to celebrate his Hall of Fame induction, because he is just like everybody said, he's a man of the people. He gets it. He stays beyond.
He's a good man. He's
we got closer to him, and the door opened where he was at in the suite that he was at, and I said, "Hey, Zach, I got a Richmond Webb bracelet for you." I pointed at it. He came out and he got it. He put it on.
Yeah.
He's like, "Wow, Richmond, yeah, he needs to be there." And he put on the bracelet that I gave him. He is above nobody. He's not the type of guy that's going to be like, "Oh, I don't have time for you," or just a really cool guy. And that was an awesome moment to share and the people saw. So
no, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, we obviously have some really cool events going on. So I'm just going to show you guys some things that we have happening. First is the Seattle Fins Fest 5. That is next week.
It's next
week. Crazy to think about that. I will be hosting a party on Saturday, September 21st from 8:00 p.m. till late. I can't promise you I'm going to be there till 1:30 a.m., but I will be there late. So all Dolphin fans are invited, and then Solo D will be hosting it the day before. So either one of those days or both, definitely come out to the Cove if you're going to be in the Seattle area for the game. Then we also have, let me show you what else I got going on. We also have the Panthers. Okay, so the Panthers are going to be opening up their season really, really soon. We have tickets for the first game, October 8th, which is a Tuesday. We have lower level seats, and we have 300 level seats. So if you want to come out, watch a Panthers game with us, you're more than welcome to. We have great, great seats, and we'd love for you to join us as well.
We have the tailgate option. If you do select the tailgate, any ticket actually that you get from us, you will be getting a rat and a commemorative bracelet, wristband that will have some here it is. That'll have it'll have the date that's going to be where the banner goes up. So if you join us for the tailgate, or if you purchase a ticket from us, you will be getting a wrap and a Panthers wristband commemorating their championship banner.
Yep. And then the last thing to show you guys is let me see if this is it. Yep. Okay. So our tailgate in Indy, we have a tailgate going on right before our Dolphins take on the Colts at Tavern on South. It's all you can eat buffet, all you can drink for 2 hours. The price is $80 per person, starting at 10 a.m. to 12. Big O Show will be having a pregame show live. So definitely
and a postgame.
Definitely get your ticket. Yes, and a postgame. So definitely get your tickets now for that. It's a private party, so you can't just show up and join us. You need a ticket for that. And like I said, the menu is amazing. If anything, come just for the food. Like it's such a. I've had so many people say, "Ash, like that menu is crazy." Well, we're gonna eat good. So definitely, if you guys want to join
and
us,
it's a football throws away from
it's right
there. You literally walk out
stadium.
and you're into the stadium. So it's gonna be a great time.
So really excited for that.
And hopefully we are 7-0 heading into that game.
That would be so amazing. That would be so wild too.
Or no, 6-0, because that is week 7. We'll be 7-0 after that game.
Yeah. And then we have a bye.
Yes.
No, we have a bye the week before. I lied to you. We have a no, Lou. We wouldn't be. We have a bye before the game in Indy.
Okay. Right.
So we'd be 5-0.
5-0. Okay.
Yes. No.
Either way,
5-0.
Hopefully we're undefeated.
I'm going to tell you.
Heading into that game and leaving that game.
Jaguars, Bills, Seattle.
Right.
No, I don't. I'm not going to tell you.
Good.
I know it. No. You see, I thought that. Sit down.
All right.
So Jacksonville, we just played. We play the Bills tomorrow. Then we play the Seahawks next week. Then we play Tennessee, and then we play the Patriots, and then we're on a bye, and then we go to the Colts.
Okay, so that's 5.
5-0
and 6-0 after that game. Just like I said.
You were right the first time. All right, guys. Well, it has been fun. There was a lot to talk about. Our heavy episodes is usually, during basketball season, when it's football season, and when it's hockey season, because obviously I have to about the Heat just as much as I about the Dolphins. This was a long episode, but because there's just a lot going on. So, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. We look forward to seeing everybody at the Hard Rock tomorrow. It's been a short week, and like I said, it's a must-win game for us home, and we definitely need to take care of business.
Yes, we got our kickoff towel from last week, so that was fun to get that, and it's still kind of look. It's how awesome is it? We saw a game Sunday. 4 days later, tomorrow night, we'll be right back where we were on Sunday. Hopefully, leaving the stadium the same way with a win.
Yeah.
And
and hurting on Monday for those who need, or hurting on Friday for those who need to be at work early on Friday.
Oh well, hey, if it's in the name of a win, it'll be well worth it. So, again, thank you guys for joining us. Have a great rest of your week. If you haven't done so already, remember to like and subscribe. Share the show with others. We want to keep on engaging with everybody throughout the course of the season and beyond. And we definitely are looking forward to big and bigger and greater things for our Miami football Dolphins, those Miami Hurricanes, everything South Florida. We're going to support and hopefully get some good results out of it.
That sounds good. Fins up. And ask them.
And we will see you guys next week. Did you cut off yet? No, you didn't.
No, we're still here.
We're still on.
You still keep talking.
Play some music on the way out here,
going,
but we'll highlight some of your comments here on the way out. But yes, a reminder that our next 2 shows, since we are getting married in 13 days, our next 2 shows will be live from somewhere in Seattle, Washington next week. And then the following week after we are married, we will be doing a live show from San Francisco, somewhere in San Francisco. If you guys have any
or Oakland.
No, not Oakland.
This is a joke.
We've heard some bad things, but we will be doing a live show from somewhere in San Francisco. Maybe the Golden Gate Bridge, maybe Alcatraz. I don't know. You're just going to have to tune
Can I
in.
leave you there?
No, because you got the Rock, and we're going to the Rock together. But yeah, no.
I'm just going for Ghirardelli's.
But yeah, no, we'll definitely be doing the show on the road.
Yeah.
From Seattle, Washington next week, from San Francisco, California the following week, in doing those shows to preview the upcoming Dolphins games, and also to do a little recap of our big day. It's gonna be fun. Maybe I'll talk about.
I'm excited. No, guys, there's a lot going on. I say that at work too. That's what they always quote me. Ash, got a lot going on, But there's really a lot going on. So just stick with us. Enjoy the adventure, and we look
That is
forward.
the understatement of my lifetime.
And we look exhausted right now.
Yes, but that is the understatement of my lifetime, because I have never had more going on than getting married. I've never done it before, and so I will be a married man. Well, not next week, but the following week in 2 weeks shows. I will be a married man. I will have a ring
Are
on
you
my
trying
finger.
to convince yourself?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
Let me throw some water on my face. I'm going to be a married man. It's crazy. So
do you believe it yet?
I do.
You do believe it?
Yeah.
It hasn't hit you yet?
No, it has not.
It has not hit you.
It has not hit me yet.
How are you going to introduce me as? Because you called me your Beyonce instead
I
of
did.
Beyonce.
That is a true story. It's funny, but it's true. When I first proposed to Ashley, we were engaged. The first person that I introduced her as, I did not introduce her as my fiance. I said, guys, this is my Beyonce. And so, yeah, I guess I could call you my knife instead of my wife. I hope I don't. But yeah, it'll be fun. I'll get used to it.
This is my knife. Okay. This is my life.
Jeez. My
Life.
life. Yeah, there you go.
Life-
One of those. One of
Life
those.
is better than knife. Anyways, all right, guys.
All right,
See you
guys.
tomorrow at the Hard Rock. Fins up.
Fins up. Let's go. Let's get to 2-0. Go back to the comments here. See on the way out. Yep. I didn't mention this. NIU beat Notre Dame in South Bend. Crazy. Thanks for reminding me of that. Eric B., I will see you tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow. Thank you.